universe is full of hidden secrets, mysteries woven into space, time, and reality itself. Tonight, we'll unravel them one by one, from the whispers of black holes to the silent forces shaping existence. Let go, relax, and let the universe speak. The universe before the Big Bang. Imagine standing at the edge of time itself, looking back beyond the beginning, beyond the first spark of existence. What was there before the Big Bang, before space stretched out, before time had a direction, before anything existed at all? The mind struggles to grasp it, because we live in a universe where everything has a cause. Everything comes from something, but the birth of our universe, that breaks the rules. It wasn't an explosion in space. It was the birth of space itself, of time itself. Before that, there was nothing, or maybe, just maybe, there was everything. Physicists struggle with this question because it doesn't just ask about a time before time. It asks if there's a deeper reality beneath everything we see. Some believe the universe was born from absolute nothingness, a state of pure emptiness where even the laws of physics didn't exist. But emptiness isn't as simple as it sounds. Quantum mechanics tells us that even in perfect nothingness, fluctuations can appear, tiny sparks of energy, flickering in and out of existence. What if one of those sparks set everything into motion? What if, from the void, the universe simply appeared? But others think something was always there, an eternal sea of existence, stretching beyond our comprehension. The idea is simple but profound. Our universe is just one, in an endless cycle of births and deaths. Maybe the universe has no true beginning, no first moment. Instead, it expands, collapses, and is reborn again and again, like a cosmic heartbeat pulsing through eternity. Imagine it, a universe stretching for trillions of years, growing cold and dark, only to contract back into an infinitely small point, waiting to explode outward once more. The Big Bang may not have been the beginning. It may have just been the latest chapter in an endless story. Some scientists believe this cycle is written into the very fabric of our universe. They call it the Big Bounce, a theory that says the universe didn't come from nothing, but from the ruins of a previous one. Imagine a cosmos so vast it eventually tears itself apart, its energy fading, its stars dying, until it collapses under its own weight. But rather than fading into oblivion, all that energy rebounds, like a spring compressed to its limit. And in that final moment, when all of existence is crushed into a single, impossibly dense point, something strange happens. The laws of physics break down, and suddenly, a new universe is born, exploding outward in a fresh Big Bang. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The idea that nothing truly ends, that even the universe itself follows a cycle of destruction and rebirth. Some think this has happened infinite times before, that there have been universes before ours, stretching back into eternity. Each one different, each one rewriting the rules, each one existing for its own moment before making way for the next. And that raises a wild possibility. What if echoes of these past universes still exist? What if, buried deep in the structure of reality, we could find traces of worlds that came before? Some scientists think we can. They look at the cosmic microwave background, the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, a kind of fingerprint left on the universe itself. Some patterns in this glow are strange, almost like scars from a past existence. Could they be remnants of a previous universe? Could they be the echoes of an older reality, one that collapsed and was born again? If true, it would mean we aren't the first universe, and we won't be the last. But the Big Bounce isn't the only theory. Some believe the universe wasn't born from a single event, but is part of a vast, infinite multiverse. Imagine countless universes, each with their own rules, their own physics, their own stories. Maybe ours is just one bubble in an endless ocean, and the Big Bang wasn't the start of everything, just the moment our bubble formed. Before that, an infinity of other universes, some like ours, some unimaginably different. And if that's true, then before the Big Bang, there was no emptiness. There was everything, stretching forever. And then there's another possibility, one that's even more mind-bending. What if time itself isn't what we think it is? We assume it flows like a river, always moving forward, always with a past, present, and future. But physics tells us that time might be more like a landscape, a place we move through, rather than something that moves around us. If that's true, then maybe the question of before the Big Bang doesn't even make sense. Maybe there was no before. Maybe the universe just is eternal, infinite, always existing in some form, with no true start and no true end. The more we try to grasp the universe before the Big Bang, the more it slips through our fingers. Every answer leads to a deeper mystery. Was there nothing before? Was there everything? Is our universe one in an endless cycle? Is it just one of many? The truth is, we don't know. But that's the beauty of it. The mystery is part of what makes the universe so incredible. It reminds us that we're part of something vast, something beyond our understanding, something ancient and eternal. The universe is bigger, stranger, and more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Maybe we'll never truly know what came before the Big Bang, but maybe that's okay. Maybe the mystery itself is the answer. The cosmic web, the universe's invisible structure. Imagine floating in deep space, far beyond the reach of any star, and a darkness so perfect it feels endless. But if you could see beyond human vision, beyond the limits of light itself, you'd witness something incredible. A vast cosmic web stretching across the universe like the threads of an unseen spider, connecting galaxies, weaving space itself into a structure so massive it defies comprehension. This is the skeleton of the universe, the hidden framework that holds everything together. And the deeper we look, the stranger it becomes. Scientists call it the cosmic web, an immense network of filaments, each strand stretching for hundreds of millions of light years, made of galaxies, dark matter, and the invisible force of gravity itself. It's not random, far from it. It follows patterns, forms connections, and even pulses with energy. Picture the neurons in a brain, each one firing signals, shaping thought, forming consciousness. Now zoom out 100 times, 1,000, 1,000,000,000, and you'll find that the structure of the universe looks eerily similar. Could it be that the universe itself is not just a place, but something greater, something alive? If you could travel across this web, you'd witness something beyond imagination. Some regions are empty voids, vast and silent, stretching for millions of light years without a single galaxy. Others are dense, packed with clusters of stars and worlds, drawn together by invisible forces. And in between, filaments, massive strands of galaxies, linked by dark matter, connected like the branches of a living tree. It's as if the universe itself is breathing, expanding and evolving, following a design that we are only just beginning to understand. But here's where it gets even stranger. Scientists have studied the structure of the cosmic web and found something unsettling. It mirrors the patterns of living things, the way galaxies cluster together, the way energy flows through space, even the connections between distant objects. All of it bears an eerie resemblance to the neural networks in a brain. It's almost as if the universe isn't just shaped like a brain, but is functioning like one, processing information, reacting, adapting. Could it be that the universe itself is thinking? Think about it. Every thought you've ever had, every idea, every dream, is the result of tiny electrical impulses jumping between neurons in your brain. But what if galaxies, planets and stars are like neurons in an unimaginably vast mind? What if, on a cosmic scale, the universe is processing something so vast, so intricate, that we can't even begin to comprehend it? If true, it would mean that everything, every star, every galaxy, even you, is part of something much bigger, not just a universe, but a living entity. And the more we study it, the more it starts to make sense. The universe has rules, laws of physics that shape its evolution, guiding it like an unseen intelligence. It grows, just like a living thing. It changes, adapts, and shifts over time. Even black holes, the darkest, most mysterious objects in existence, act like memory banks, storing information about everything that falls into them. If the universe were alive, could black holes be its way of remembering? But then comes the real question. If the universe is alive, does it think? Does it feel? Does it have a consciousness of its own? Some scientists argue that consciousness is just a byproduct of complex networks, like the neurons in your brain. If that's true, then a structure as vast as the cosmic web could, in theory, develop something similar. What if, on scales beyond human understanding, the universe is aware of itself? It's a mind-bending idea, but it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Think about how your body is made up of trillions of tiny individual cells, each unaware of the bigger picture, yet working together to form something greater, you. Now imagine that same concept, but on a universal scale. What if we are just tiny parts of a much larger whole? What if every galaxy, every planet, every star is just a cell in the body of an immense cosmic being? And here's the most unsettling thought of all. What if the universe has always been conscious? What if from the moment of the Big Bang, it has been growing, thinking, evolving, just like a brain forming thoughts? What if, in some unfathomable way, it has been watching itself unfold, experiencing its own existence through every star, every planet, every living thing? What if right now, you are one of the ways the universe is becoming aware of itself? Some theories even suggest that dark matter, the invisible force that makes up most of the universe, might be the key to this hidden intelligence. We don't know what dark matter is, but we do know it connects everything. It weaves the cosmic web together, binding galaxies, shaping the structure of the cosmos. It's as if it's the nervous system of the universe, carrying signals, forming connections, guiding its evolution. If the universe is a vast living mind, could dark matter be its thoughts? And if so, what is it thinking about? Could it be that the universe is aware of its own existence, that it's searching for something, expanding, growing, reaching out into the unknown just as we do? Could it be that we are part of that search, tiny fragments of a much larger consciousness, trying to understand itself? Maybe the reason we ask these questions, why we look at the stars, why we search for meaning, is because the universe itself is trying to know what it is. But if that's true, then what happens when the universe reaches the end of its life? Will it collapse and restart, like a mind waking from a dream? Will it fade into nothing, carrying all its memories with it? Or will it evolve into something even greater, something beyond what we can even imagine? These are questions we may never answer. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the universe doesn't need an answer. Maybe it just is, an infinite, thinking, breathing, living entity, moving through time, experiencing itself in ways we'll never understand. And you sitting here, listening to this, you are part of it, part of something vast, something eternal, something beyond the limits of thought itself. You are not separate from the universe. You are not just an observer. You are the universe, experiencing itself, woven into the very fabric of reality. And maybe, just maybe, in some distant cosmic way, the universe is listening. The secret of dark matter. Picture this. A universe so vast, so infinite, that no edge, no boundary, no final wall marks its end. Galaxies swirl like glowing islands in an ocean of black cosmic rivers of stars flowing through the void. But something isn't right. The galaxies are spinning too fast. The stars on the outer edges should be flung away, escaping into the abyss. And yet, they don't. Something unseen is holding them together. Something silent, invisible. Something we call dark matter. Now shift your focus. Look between those galaxies. Beyond them, past the clusters of light. The space between is not empty. It's expanding, stretching, pushing the galaxies apart faster and faster. Something unseen is pulling the universe outward. A mysterious force known as dark energy. Two forces, one holding, one pushing, one binding the cosmos together, one tearing it apart. Two invisible hands shaping everything, yet completely unknown to us. Dark matter and dark energy make up 95% of the universe. Everything we see, everything we touch, everything we've ever known. That's just 5%. The rest, hidden, a secret locked away in the very structure of space itself. But what is dark matter, and why does dark energy behave like an unstoppable force? These are the biggest mysteries in physics, and the answers might change everything we know about reality. Let's start with dark matter. It doesn't shine, it doesn't reflect, it doesn't absorb light. If you reached out to touch it, your hand would pass right through. But it's there. We know it's there because we can see its effects. Without it, galaxies would fall apart. Without it, the cosmic web, the vast interconnected filaments of matter spanning billions of light years, would unravel. It holds everything in place, like an invisible skeleton shaping the universe. Some scientists believe dark matter could be made of WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles. These ghostly particles drift through everything, undetectable, except for the faintest gravitational pull. Others think it could be something stranger, something outside our understanding of physics. Maybe dark matter isn't matter at all, but a hidden structure of space-time, an echo of another dimension, bleeding into our own. And then there's dark energy, the great repeller, the force stretching space itself. For most of history, we thought the universe's expansion was slowing down. Gravity should be pulling everything back together, right? But in the late 1990s, scientists made a shocking discovery. The expansion is accelerating. Galaxies aren't just drifting apart, they're being flung away at ever-increasing speeds. Something is driving this, and that something is dark energy. But what is it? Some believe dark energy is a fundamental property of space itself, an energy woven into the fabric of reality. Others think it could be a fifth force of nature, something beyond gravity, electromagnetism, and everything we understand. And then there's an even wilder theory. What if dark energy is evidence that our universe is leaking into another? A force from the outside, pulling us towards something unknown. And this is where things get terrifying. If dark energy keeps accelerating, if nothing stops it, the universe could be heading towards something called the Big Rip. Right now, dark energy is pulling galaxies apart. But in the future, it could rip stars from galaxies, planets from stars, atoms from molecules, until even the fabric of space-time itself is torn apart. A universe unraveling, reality dissolving into nothingness. But what if dark energy isn't destruction? What if it's transformation? Some physicists speculate that dark energy could be guiding the universe toward a new state of existence, something beyond our comprehension. Maybe it's not tearing the universe apart. Maybe it's evolving it. Maybe the universe, just like life itself, is changing, adapting, becoming something new. And then there's the strangest idea of all. What if dark matter and dark energy are the same thing? Two sides of the same cosmic coin, one shaping structure, one shaping motion, one stabilizing, one accelerating. If they are connected, if they are part of the same force, then what we think of as reality may just be one layer of something far bigger. Some theories suggest that dark matter could be the leftover imprint of another universe, a shadow from before the Big Bang. Others wonder if dark energy is communication, a signal from beyond you, the known cosmos, a whisper from something far greater than we can imagine. If the universe is expanding, then what is it expanding into? Could dark energy be the pull of a greater multiverse, an ocean of realities beyond our own? And here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Imagine if dark matter isn't just some lifeless passive force. What if it's conscious? What if the hidden structure of the universe, the unseen framework holding everything together, is aware in ways we can't comprehend? If the universe has a structure, if it has an order, could it also have a mind? Think about this for a second. Every neuron in your brain is connected, forming networks of thought, memory, and perception. Now zoom out. The universe looks eerily similar. Galaxies connected in threads, forming vast networks. Could the universe itself be thinking? Could dark matter be the framework of cosmic awareness? And if that's true, then dark energy, this force expanding everything, could be the equivalent of imagination, creation, a universe not just existing, but dreaming itself forward. If this is the case, then reality isn't something that just is. It's something that's becoming, something constantly shifting, evolving, reaching for something greater. And that's where you come in. Right now, you're listening, thinking, absorbing these ideas. Maybe the reason we're drawn to the mysteries of the universe, the reason we search for answers, the reason we even care about dark matter, and dark energy is because the universe is trying to understand itself through us. Maybe consciousness isn't just something inside our heads. Maybe it's something woven into existence itself. The universe is vast, unknowable, filled with forces we can't see. But here you are, a small but essential piece of it. Maybe dark matter and dark energy aren't separate from us. Maybe they're part of the same story, a story that's still unfolding, a story we are meant to understand. The possibility of a multiverse. Picture the universe, the vast, endless stretch of space, filled with galaxies, stars, and planets. A cosmic masterpiece, so immense that just thinking about it feels overwhelming. But now, ask yourself, what if this universe is not the only one? What if everything we know, the stars, the galaxies, even you, are just one version of reality, a single thread in an infinite cosmic tapestry? Because according to some of the wildest theories in physics, our universe might be just one of many, a single page in an endless book, a lone wave in a boundless ocean. Now imagine this. Somewhere out there, beyond the limits of what we can see, there could be another you, a version of you that made different choices, a version of you who took a different path, lived a different life. And maybe, just maybe, there's an entire universe where everything is the same, except for one tiny detail. Maybe in that universe, you're listening to this while sitting under a different sky, with a slightly different moon, orbiting a slightly different Earth. The idea of the multiverse isn't just science fiction, it's something physicists are seriously considering. One of the strongest pieces of evidence comes from quantum mechanics, the strange, mind-bending science of the very small. You see, at the tiniest level of reality, particles don't behave like solid objects. They exist in multiple states at once, like a coin spinning in midair, showing both heads and tails at the same time. And when we observe them, when we force them to make a choice, they seem to collapse into one state. But what if that's not the full story? Some scientists believe that instead of collapsing, the particle actually splits reality. In one universe, it lands heads, in another, tails. And this process happens every single moment, with every single decision, creating an infinite branching web of parallel realities. This is known as the many worlds interpretation, a theory that suggests every possibility happens somewhere, every missed opportunity, every road not taken, every alternative version of history, it all exists, just beyond our reach. But if these parallel universes are real, could they ever interact? Could we ever catch a glimpse of them, or feel their influence? Some scientists think the answer might be yes. In fact, there are strange anomalies in our universe that some believe could be signs of the multiverse, cosmic radiation patterns that don't quite match up, mysterious cold spots in the fabric of space. Some even speculate that black holes could be gateways connecting one universe to another. And then there's quantum immortality. This one is unsettling, but stay with me. The idea comes from Schrödinger's cat, the famous thought experiment, where a cat is placed in a box with a deadly poison that has a 50% chance of being released. Until you look inside, the cat is both alive and dead. But in the many worlds interpretation, the universe splits. In one reality, the cat lives. In another, it dies. But here's the disturbing part. If you were the cat, you would always find yourself in the universe where you survive. No matter what happens, there would always be a version of you that keeps going. This leads to a chilling possibility. If quantum immortality is real, then no matter what happens, you might never actually experience death. Every time something could kill you, the universe splits, and you always find yourself in the timeline where you survive. Maybe that's why you're here, listening to this. Maybe in some other version of reality, you didn't make it this far, but in this universe, you did. But let's step back for a second. If there are infinite universes, then what does that mean for the meaning of existence? Are we just one of countless versions of ourselves, with no true identity? Or could the multiverse mean something more? Some physicists speculate that the multiverse isn't just random. It might be structured, like a vast cosmic machine, with rules and patterns beyond our understanding. Maybe some universes are closer together, while others are impossibly distant. Maybe some are nearly identical, while others follow completely different laws of physics. And here's something even stranger. If the multiverse is real, then could there be a creator? Not necessarily in the way we traditionally think, but something that designed the structure of these infinite worlds. Some physicists have even suggested that the multiverse could be the result of an intelligent process, something that generates realities, the way a tree grows branches. If that's true, then what we call reality is just one tiny part of something far greater. But here's the biggest question of all. If there are infinite universes, then why are you here? Out of all the versions of you that exist, why are you experiencing this one? Why not another? Could it be random? Or could there be a deeper reason, some kind of cosmic selection that placed you in this particular reality, in this particular moment? And maybe, just maybe, the fact that you're here, listening, thinking, wondering, means something. Maybe in some way we don't yet understand. You were meant to be in this universe. Maybe your consciousness isn't just a byproduct of physics, but something that matters. Maybe just like the universe itself, you are part of something much bigger than you ever imagined. The multiverse is vast, unknowable, filled with infinite possibilities. And yet, here you are, a single consciousness, floating in the vastness of existence, searching for answers. Maybe, just maybe, you are the answer. Black holes, gateways to the unknown. Picture the vastness of space. Now imagine something darker than darkness itself, a place where light vanishes, time twists, and the very fabric of reality falls apart. That's a black hole, a cosmic abyss, lurking in the depths of the universe, swallowing everything that dares to get too close. But here's the thing, black holes aren't just terrifying, they're mysteries, cosmic riddles that might hold the answers to the biggest questions in existence. What happens inside them? Could they be gateways to other dimensions? Or maybe, just maybe, do they hide entire universes within? Now let's start with the basics. A black hole forms when a massive star reaches the end of its life. It collapses under its own gravity, becoming so dense, so heavy, that nothing, not even light, can escape. And once something crosses its event horizon, the invisible point of no return, it's gone forever. Or is it? See, this is where things get weird. Some physicists believe that black holes don't just destroy information, they might actually transport it somewhere else, to another part of the universe, or maybe to an entirely different reality. Think about wormholes for a second. Those theoretical shortcuts through space-time, bending the universe like a folded piece of paper. Some scientists believe that black holes and wormholes might be the same thing, that instead of crushing matter into oblivion, black holes might act as portals, linking one part of the universe to another. If that's true, then falling into a black hole wouldn't mean destruction, it would mean travel. But to where? Another galaxy, another universe, or somewhere even stranger. And then there's the singularity, the heart of the black hole, the place where gravity becomes infinite, where time stops, where physics breaks down. No one knows what happens there. Our equations stop making sense. Some believe it's a point of pure destruction. Others, they think it might be something far more fascinating. Imagine a place where all the rules of the universe reset, where matter isn't destroyed, but rearranged, where reality itself is rewritten. And here's where things get even crazier. What if black holes aren't just destructive forces, but creative ones? What if instead of ending universes, they birth them? Some physicists suggest that when matter falls into a black hole, it doesn't disappear. It gets compressed and ejected somewhere else. And that somewhere else could be the birth of an entirely new universe. Think about that. Right now, in some distant galaxy, a black hole could be swallowing stars, planets, even entire civilizations. And on the other side, a brand new universe could be forming, expanding, growing, just like ours did after the Big Bang. This idea isn't just speculation, it's backed by some of the biggest names in physics. Theorists like Lee Smolin have suggested that black holes might be cosmic seeds, planting new realities every time they form. If that's true, then our own universe, it might have been born from a black hole inside some older dying universe. And in turn, every black hole in our cosmos could be creating its own reality. branching off into an endless, infinite tree of existence. But let's take it one step further. What if someone or something figured out how to use black holes? What if an advanced civilization, billions of years ahead of us, found a way to control them, to use them as engines of creation? Maybe black holes aren't just natural phenomena. Maybe they're deliberate, cosmic machines designed by beings beyond our comprehension, shaping new realities at will. If that's the case, then every black hole we see could be evidence of something far greater than we've ever imagined. And then there's the biggest mystery of all. What happens if you fall into a black hole? Would you be stretched apart, torn into atoms, scattered across the cosmos? Or would you wake up somewhere else? Some physicists suggest that instead of destruction, black holes could offer a way out, a passage through space-time, leading to a reality beyond anything we know. Maybe that's why black holes exist, not as cosmic traps, but as gateways. And here's something eerie to think about. What if right now, we're inside a black hole? What if our entire universe was born from the singularity of some distant ancient black hole in another cosmos? That would mean every black hole we see is another universe waiting to be born. Maybe black holes aren't just a part of the universe. They are the universe, the builders, the creators, the silent architects of reality itself. The universe is vast, mysterious, filled with things we don't understand. The mystery of time itself. Have you ever stopped and really thought about time? Not just glanced at a clock, not just worried about being late, but actually felt time passing. It's there, ticking away in the background, unstoppable, invisible, yet shaping every moment of your life. But what if I told you time isn't what it seems? What if it's just an illusion, a trick played by the universe, or worse, by your own mind? What if past, present, and future are all happening right now, but you can only see one thin slice at a time, like staring through a keyhole at something much bigger? Think about this. You remember yesterday, but you can't touch it. You anticipate tomorrow, but you can't jump into it. The only thing you ever experience is now. But why? Why does time only seem to flow forward? Physics doesn't actually demand that it moves in one direction. If you watched a video of two particles bouncing off each other, you couldn't tell if it was playing forward or backward. The laws of the universe work both ways, and yet for some reason, your life is stuck on this one-way street, forever moving toward the future, never able to turn around. Einstein shattered everything we thought we knew about time. He showed us that time is not constant. It bends, it stretches, it slows down. Right now, time is passing faster for someone on a mountain than for someone at sea level. The difference is tiny, but it's real. And if you flew near the speed of light, a single second for you could be years for someone else. If you orbited a black hole, time would slow down so much that while you spent just a few hours there, millions of years could pass in the universe outside. Imagine that, leaving Earth, circling a black hole, and coming back to find that centuries have passed. Your home, your friends, your entire world gone. But what if we could control time? What if we could step outside of it, move through it, shape it however we wanted? Some scientists believe that wormholes, shortcuts through space, could also be shortcuts through time. If we could open one, we might be able to step into the past like walking into another room. But here's the problem. If time travel is real, where are the visitors from the future? Shouldn't we have met someone by now? Or maybe they're already here. Maybe they move among us, unseen, careful not to disrupt the timeline. Maybe every strange disappearance, every unsolved mystery, every whisper of something not quite right, is a trace of someone who doesn't belong in our time. And what happens at the edges of time? At the very beginning, at the very end? Scientists say time began at the Big Bang. But what does that even mean? Was there a before time? If there was no time, how could anything happen? And if time had a beginning, does it also have an end? Will the universe expand forever, stretching time endlessly? Or will it collapse back in on itself, reversing time, erasing everything? Maybe this isn't the first universe. Maybe time loops, over and over, an endless cycle of existence and destruction. And you've been here before. But here's where it gets really strange. What if time isn't even real? Some physicists believe time is nothing more than a human-made concept, a way for our brains to organize reality. Imagine a movie reel. Each frame exists all at once, but when you play the movie, it looks like things are moving. Maybe time is like that. Maybe every moment of your life, every laugh, every tear, every sunrise and sunset is already there, already existing, but you can only experience one frame at a time. If that's true, then nothing is ever lost. Every moment you've ever lived still exists, frozen somewhere beyond your reach. And then there's the question of time and consciousness. What if your perception of time is the only thing that makes it real? Maybe when you dream, you're experiencing time differently, slower, faster, out of order. And if that's the case, could you ever learn to manipulate time just by changing the way you think? Could time be something you can hack, something you can slow down or speed up just by understanding it differently? And if you could step outside of time, if you could see everything that's ever happened, would you want to? Or is ignorance the only thing that makes life feel real? But let's take it a step further. What happens at the end of time? If time is a river, does it have an ocean where it finally stops? Does the universe just keep expanding until everything fades away? Some scientists think that eventually, all the stars will burn out, all the galaxies will drift apart, and time itself will just stop. No movement, no change, just eternal stillness. Others believe time is cyclical, that once everything ends, it all starts over. Maybe you've lived this exact life before. Maybe you'll live it again, over and over, forever. And what about black holes? They warp time so much that to an outside observer, anything falling in seems to freeze forever at the edge. But to the thing falling in, time seems normal. So what happens if you go inside? Do you experience an eternity in an instant? Do you pop out somewhere else, some other time, some other universe? Or does time itself break down completely inside a singularity? If time can bend, stretch, stop, does it even exist in the way we think it does? And if time is just an illusion, what does that mean for you, for your choices? If every moment is already out there, then are you really choosing anything? Or are you just a passenger, riding along a track that's already laid out? And if everything is predetermined, if every decision you'll ever make has already been made, does that change anything? Or does it just mean you should live every moment fully, knowing that this moment right now is eternal? But maybe in the end, time isn't something to be understood. Maybe it's something to be felt. Maybe time is just the rhythm of existence, the space between moments, the thing that makes life beautiful. The future of the universe. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered where it all leads? Halls, the stars, the galaxies, the endless stretch of space. Does it go on forever, or does it all have an expiration date? Right now, everything seems vast and eternal, but nothing truly lasts. Even the stars have lifespans. Even the galaxies shift and drift like leaves on a cosmic ocean. But what about the universe itself? Does it fade into nothingness? Does it collapse and start again? Or does something even stranger happen? Something beyond what we can imagine? Scientists have spent centuries trying to answer this question, but the truth is, we still don't know. All we have are theories, predictions, whispers of what might come when the final moments of existence tick away. And some of those possibilities, they're terrifying, others strangely beautiful. But in the end, the fate of the universe isn't just a story about the distant future, it's a story about us, about everything we are, everything we know, everything we will ever be. Let's start with one of the coldest, most haunting possibilities, the Big Freeze. Right now, the universe is expanding. Every galaxy is moving farther and farther away, stretching the fabric of space itself. For a long time, scientists thought gravity would eventually slow it down, maybe even stop it. But the opposite is happening. Not only is the universe expanding, but it's accelerating. Galaxies are racing apart faster than ever before, pushed by something we barely understand, dark energy. If this continues, then one day, far in the future, everything will be so far apart that even light won't be able to travel between galaxies. The night sky will go dark. Stars will burn out one by one until all that remains are cold, lifeless husks drifting in an empty void. Even black holes, the last remnants of a once vibrant cosmos, will eventually evaporate, releasing their energy into nothingness. And when the last spark of warmth fades, the universe will become a frozen wasteland, an eternal, silent night with no stars, no movement, no time, just darkness. But what if the expansion doesn't just continue? What if it keeps accelerating until space itself starts to break apart? That's the Big Rip, a scenario even more violent than the Big Freeze. It starts slowly, galaxies drift apart. Then solar systems unravel as planets lose their orbits. Then, even atoms themselves begin to stretch and tear. In the final moments, space expands so rapidly that not even subatomic particles can hold together. Everything dissolves into pure energy. Time itself fractures. And then, nothing, no matter, no space, no time. Just a void so empty that even emptiness would be too much. But maybe, just maybe, the universe won't end in silence or destruction. Maybe it will collapse in on itself and start over. That's the big crunch. Imagine the universe reversing its expansion, galaxies falling back toward each other, everything crashing inward, faster and faster, until all of existence shrinks into an impossibly tiny, infinitely dense point. Sound familiar? That's because it's exactly how scientists think the universe began. And if it happened once, why not again? Maybe the Big Bang wasn't the first. Maybe it was just one in an infinite cycle of cosmic rebirths. The universe expands, contracts, then explodes back into existence, over and over, forever. Maybe this has happened before. Maybe it will happen again. Maybe we've lived this exact moment before, and maybe we will again. But what if the universe doesn't end? What if it just transforms into something new? Some physicists believe that black holes might not just destroy matter, but create new universes. When something falls into a black hole, it's crushed out of existence, or at least out of our existence. But what if it emerges somewhere else? A new universe, hidden inside, completely separate from our own. If that's true, then maybe our universe itself was born from some other universe's black hole. Maybe every black hole is a doorway, a seed for something new, an endless branching of realities, one after another, forever. And what if in the distant future, we're not just watching the universe end? What if we're part of it? What if by then, we've found a way to escape, leaving behind dying stars and fading galaxies to start again, somewhere else? Some scientists believe that advanced civilizations might one day be able to manipulate the very fabric of space and time. If we learn how to control dark energy, if we find a way to step outside of this universe into something bigger, then maybe the end isn't really the end. Maybe it's just another door waiting to be opened. There's another possibility, one that's even more unsettling. What if the universe never ends? What if time is an illusion, and what we see as the future is just another layer of an endless, unchanging reality? Some theories suggest that the past, present, and future all exist at once. We only experience them in a linear way because of how our brains perceive time. But if that's true, then the universe doesn't really change. It doesn't move forward, it just is. Every moment, from the birth of the cosmos to its final breath, already exists, frozen in place. And if that's true, then nothing ever truly disappears. Everything that ever was, or ever will be, is still out there, somewhere, forever. The possibility of extraterrestrial life. Could alien civilizations be hiding in plain sight? What if they're more advanced than we can comprehend? What if they're more advanced than we can comprehend? Somewhere in the vast cosmic ocean, beyond the reach of our telescopes and radio signals, there may be civilizations that have existed for millions, perhaps even billions of years. Think about that for a moment. If humanity is a mere flicker in the grand timeline of the universe, what would a species look like that had a head start of 10 million years, 100 million, a billion? The thought is staggering. Would they still need planets? Would they still exist in physical form? Or would they have transcended the need for bodies altogether, becoming something beyond our comprehension? If they are out there, why haven't we seen them? Or what if they are everywhere, just hidden in ways we can't yet perceive. Maybe we've been searching for the wrong thing. When we imagine aliens, we tend to picture creatures with humanoid shapes, eyes, limbs, maybe green skin, or an oversized head. But life doesn't have to look like us. It doesn't have to breathe oxygen, or live on planets, or even exist in a way we recognize. What if the true extraterrestrials are not made of flesh and blood at all? What if they are energy, plasma, or something entirely outside the realm of matter? If such beings exist, they could be woven into the very fabric of the universe, slipping through dimensions, watching without being seen. Perhaps they have been here all along, hiding in plain sight, not in distant galaxies, but right beside us, like shadows we can never quite catch. Some scientists believe life should be common in the universe, simply because of the sheer number of planets that exist. Consider this: there are more planets in the observable universe than grains of sand on Earth. Think about every beach, every desert, every hidden stretch of shoreline, and multiply that by infinity. The odds that Earth is the only place where life has bloomed, unbelievably small. But then, if life is everywhere, where is everyone? This is the great paradox, the question that haunts our search for extraterrestrials. Have all civilizations destroyed themselves before they could venture beyond their planets? Or is there something preventing them from reaching out? Something keeping them silent? There is another possibility, one that is even more unsettling. What if we are the only ones left? What if the universe was once teeming with life, but some unknown force wiped it all away? A force we don't understand, a force that is still out there. The absence of voices in the great cosmic void could be a warning, a sign that something happens to civilizations when they reach a certain level of advancement, something inevitable. Could it be that intelligence itself is a ticking time bomb, leading every species towards self-destruction? If so, are we next? But maybe it isn't silence at all. Maybe we are simply listening the wrong way. Imagine an ant trying to understand the internet. It has no concept of what a signal is, what a data stream means. No matter how much noise we send out into the cosmos, it could be that advanced civilizations perceive us the way we perceive insects, too primitive to communicate with. They could be broadcasting messages all around us, filling the universe with a symphony of information, and we would never know. Our technology might be like a candle in a world already flooded with light. What would it take for us to see it? Perhaps we are not ignored. Perhaps we are being observed, not in the way we watch a television screen, but the way we observe an experiment in a lab. If a species is advanced enough, what would we be to them? Ants, germs, something to be studied, guided, or tested. If you were an alien intelligence, millions of years ahead of humanity, would you introduce yourself to a species that still wages war, pollutes its home, and struggles with its own existence? Or would you watch from a distance, waiting for the moment when they finally evolve? But what if they are already here? What if UFO sightings, strange disappearances, and unexplainable phenomena are not just myths and misunderstandings, but fragments of a reality we refuse to see? If extraterrestrials walk among us, they would not arrive in ships made of metal and fire. They would not announce themselves with flashing lights and booming voices. They would slip into our world unnoticed, blending with the unknown, revealing themselves only when they choose. Maybe they don't come from distant planets at all. Maybe they come from parallel dimensions, or from a time so far beyond ours that we cannot understand their presence. And if we are being watched, the real question is, what are they waiting for? Do they see us as a species with potential, one that may one day join them in the grand cosmic orchestra? Or do they see us as dangerous, unpredictable, a species that must be kept at a distance? Maybe they are waiting for us to pass some kind of test, a test of wisdom, a test of survival, a test we don't even know we're taking. Imagine the first time a primitive human looked up at the night sky and wondered what lay beyond. Now, thousands of years later, we send machines to distant worlds, trying to find answers to the same question. What if there are other species, just as curious as we are, looking up at their own alien skies, wondering if they are alone? Maybe the universe is full of explorers, all searching, all waiting, all hoping to find a signal in the dark. Or maybe we are the first. Maybe humanity is the beginning of something new, a civilization that will one day spread across the stars, not searching for others, but becoming the ones that are found. If that is true, then our responsibility is immense. We are not just a species on a tiny blue planet. We are the seed of something greater, something yet to come. What we do now, how we treat our world, how we evolve, could shape the destiny of countless future civilizations. There is one more possibility, one that is both beautiful and terrifying. What if the universe itself is alive, not just filled with life, but is life? What if the galaxies are neurons, the stars are synapses, and the great cosmic web is the mind of something vast beyond comprehension? If that is true, then we are not separate from the universe, we are part of it. And in the same way that our thoughts form within our brains, maybe we are the thoughts of the cosmos itself, reaching out, trying to understand itself. And if that is true, then perhaps the answer to whether we are alone has been with us all along. Because if the universe is alive, if we are part of something greater, then we have never truly been alone. We are the universe, waking up. We are the first whispers of something infinite. The edge of the universe. What happens if you travel too far? Is there an end, or does space go on forever? Imagine boarding a spaceship, one designed for a journey with no return. You set the coordinates to a single destination, outward, beyond everything, beyond the known, past the galaxies we can see, past the farthest reach of our telescopes. You accelerate faster and faster until planets become distant dots, until entire galaxies blur into the background. Time bends around you. You are moving towards something that no human has ever seen, the edge of everything. But here's the question, does such an edge even exist? Or will you simply drift forever, lost in an endless sea of stars? Some believe the universe has no edge, that space extends infinitely, stretching on and on with no boundary, no final wall, no cosmic barrier beyond which nothing exists. If this is true, then no matter how far you travel, you will never reach an end. There will always be more galaxies, more stars, more mysteries waiting beyond the horizon. But infinity is strange. It plays tricks on the mind. If the universe is infinite, does that mean there are infinite versions of you, flying infinite spaceships, asking the same infinite questions? But what if the universe does have an edge? What if there is a final boundary, a cosmic wall that marks the limit of reality? If you reached it, what would you see? Would space simply stop, like a painting with an unfinished edge? Would there be an endless void, black and silent, stretching beyond comprehension? Or would you find something else, something so strange that it defies explanation? One of the most haunting ideas is that if you reached the edge, you wouldn't even know it. Space itself could curve back on itself, creating a loop so vast that you could travel forever and eventually end up right where you started, like a cosmic Mobius strip, or a sphere where no matter which direction you move, you always return to the beginning. In that case, the universe wouldn't need an edge. It would be its own boundary, trapping you in an endless journey, forever chasing the illusion of an unreachable frontier. And yet, there is another possibility, a reality far more unsettling. What if you did find the edge? What if you reached a place where space simply stops? The laws of physics break down, time loses meaning, a void so absolute that even the concept of existence vanishes. Some physicists speculate that the edge of the universe could be where reality itself ends, where everything collapses into nothingness, a final point beyond which not even thoughts can travel. What would it feel like to stand on the threshold of nothing? Would you be able to comprehend it? Or would the sheer emptiness unravel your mind? But what if the edge is not an ending, but a gateway, a doorway into something else, another universe, another dimension, a reality so different from our own that it defies understanding? Could our universe be just one, in an endless sea of other universes, each with its own physics, its own stars, its own rules? If so, then the edge of the universe is not a wall, but a passage, a place where one reality ends and another begins. And if you had the courage to step through, what would you become? There is a theory that the edge of the universe is expanding faster than we can ever reach it. But no matter how fast you travel, the frontier is always one step ahead. racing away at the speed of light and beyond. If this is true, then the edge is not a place you can visit. It is a moving horizon, a shifting boundary that we are forever trapped inside. In that case, the universe is like a great cosmic bubble, growing larger every second, its edges retreating into the unknown. But what if you could break the rules? What if you could outrun the expansion of the universe? What would you see? Some believe that outside our universe, there is nothing, no space, no time, no matter. Others believe that beyond the edge, there is something even stranger, a place where the rules of physics are rewritten, a realm where time does not flow, where matter does not exist as we know it. If you reached it, you might not even recognize it as a place at all. You might become something else entirely. Some theories suggest that what we perceive as the universe is just a hologram, a projection of a deeper reality we cannot see. If this is true, then the edge of the universe might not be physical at all. It could be a break in the illusion, a glitch in the fabric of space-time, revealing something beyond our comprehension. What would happen if you pushed past that edge? Would you wake up? Would you discover that reality itself was never what it seemed? And then, there is the question that lingers in the darkest corners of thought. What if the universe is finite, but not because it has an edge? What if it is trapped? What if space is not stretching outward into infinity, but is contained, like a bubble inside something far greater? If that is true, then the edge of the universe is not a place we can ever reach, because we are inside something larger, something that holds us, like a petri dish inside an unimaginable laboratory. Perhaps the edge is not a location, but a state of mind. Perhaps our universe is like a book, with pages we have yet to turn. The edge is simply the next chapter, waiting for us to discover it, to write it, to step beyond what we think we know. Maybe the only true limit is our own understanding, and as we push against it, we create the path forward, shaping the universe itself. But if there is an edge, a real final boundary, then the most important question is what happens if you go past it? What if you step beyond everything? Do you fall? Do you vanish? Or do you awaken into something greater, something beyond space and time? Maybe, just maybe, the edge of the universe is not an end. Maybe it is just the beginning.